Have you ever looked into mirror and thought, I have built a career, but is this really it? Maybe you are feeling competent, respected, but also restless. In the age of AI, knowledge is more accessible than ever. But what differentiates those who thrive and those who fade is agency, the will to act. Your second act doesn't start from scratch, it starts from you with your experience, your networks, your context. Today, I will unpack 3 real paths you can use to reinvent yourself, and I will show you stories and research that proves it. The working world has shifted. IQ or intelligence is increasingly a commodity. What stands out is now what you do with it. Research shows that successful founders aren't primarily young risk takers. In fact, one study found that an average age of founders of the fastest growing firms is 45 years old. And in corporate innovation, intrapreneurship, which is acting like an entrepreneur inside your organization, is recognized practice with real impact. So, if you are in your 40s or 50s, you are not late. You might actually be at your strongest. The question isn't can I, but which part will I choose? Let's walk through the 3 paths you can take for your second act with real world stories and how to apply them as well. So, the first path is called as the Intrapreneur Path. Reinvent within your job. This path, you don't have to leave your job. You transform how you bring value in it. At Frito-Lay, a man by the name of Richard Montañez, who started as a janitor, noticed his company lacked a snack product serving a Latino market. He pitched the idea internally and eventually helped launch Flamin Hot Cheetos. The company. That's entrepreneurship. Recognizing an unmet need, acting inside the system, gaining support and delivering value. You apply it, audit your current role. What tasks, project move in your relevance or versus what has been done using the legacy duties. Then you also use your domain knowledge, your expertise. That is what I call your unfair advantage. Your context gives you unique insights. Third one, pitch a new internal initiative like create an internal platform, come up with internal tools. You can do whatever works for you, but you have to try a new idea within your organization and then show it to the management or leadership. Now let's move on to the second path, which I call as the portfolio path. Build a side project while you work. Here, your day job stays, but you create an optionality outside it. 1 foot in the job, 1 foot in something emergent. The research on founder age across 45 shows that right time to build something new is when you bring experience, not when you are starting without context. You have breadth, which is the different knowledge and expertise of different fields, and you have the roots, which is your narrative of helping others, teaching whatever you can teach to others, etc. That's your creative capital. Now, how to apply it? First and foremost, choose a project you are passionate about and allocate around 2 hours a week without quitting your job. Treat it like a mini venture. Validate with an email list, get feedback, maybe build a lead magnet. Low risk. As it grows, you will decide to keep as a portfolio or shift to main focus. Now, some of the visual cues which can be used here. Okay. So I will do that. No problem. The third one or the third path, which we call as the founder path, which is go all in. Build your own enterprise. This is the bold path. You use your deep experience, network, domain expertise, and you launch your own enterprise. Ray, the classic example, at age 52, he discovered the hamburger stand after decades as a salesman, recognized the system and the scaling potential, and turned it into what became McDonald's. This path isn't about youth, it's about maturity, pattern recognition, networks, ability to execute. How you apply it? First, leverage your 20 plus years of experience in whatever you are doing, whatever Then look for or ask for what gap in your ecosystem is available. And then based on that, build a minimal viable product or a minimum viable version of your venture. In example, it can be a small startup, it can be a small product or a tool, it can be anything which can solve the problems of the customer. Whichever path you pick, your second act isn't about doing more, it's about becoming someone new. I call it the being loop. Inputs shape your beliefs, then it drives your behavior, and then you rewrite your outcome. So start from identity. Who are you now? How do you want to show up in the next 18 to 24 months? Then map the smallest action that matches that identity. Here's your takeaway. First, you don't need to quit your job tomorrow. Second, you don't need to wait for a perfect clarity. Third, you need to pick one path and take one step. Your challenge: pick your path today, whether it is entrepreneur, portfolio, or founder. Write it down. Most important is schedule one 30 minutes slot this week to act. Now, how do you act? It can be, if entrepreneur, propose a mini initiative to your team. If portfolio, block 2 hours this weekend for your side project. And if founder, sketch your problem to solve plus who I serve in a single pager. Which, because waiting is the worst move, research says older, experienced professionals already have the unfair advantage. Your story isn't about starting over, it's about building forward. You have done the work, you have the context, you have the networks. Now choose the path, walk it, and let your second act begin.